Hi guys, welcome back to another video. For today's video, we will be doing my labor and delivery story.
Our labor and delivery story.
Fine, our labor and delivery story. Even though I had that child.
But I felt the pain too.
No, he didn't.
I did.
So my due date was the 24th of August, but my baby was born on the 28th. And it actually all started on a Monday.
On a Monday, we went to con la suegra on an appointment that we needed to translate.
And then on our way back, we were on the freeway, and then he was gonna call his brother
to get some free Starbucks. Free Starbucks.
Oh, because he works at Starbucks, so we were like, hey, why not, you know?
Hook
and
us
then,
up.
so he called him, and then I was like, oh, tell him my water broke, see what he says. So he did tell him that, and then he was like, hey, like, her water broke, can you take her to the hospital? I'm at work, this and that. And then he was like, yeah.
He was actually at the gym with my cuñada. They were like working out.
Yeah, he was all like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, where is she? Is she ready? I'll get my stuff right now and I'll take her. And then, like, he was believing it and everything. And then we just started hella laughing. We're like, nah, we're just playing. Like, it's not true. And
we were hella laughing for
he was
for
like,
a bit.
wow, I had my stuff ready. And we were hella weak. And then after that, like, what, 2 minutes afterwards?
About like a minute or two.
Like, I felt something like come out.
And it was not the baby.
It was karma because, yeah, like, it wasn't my water. My water didn't break. It was, like, leaking.
The CEO was broken. It was like...
The what?
The seal.
Oh, what is the CEO?
No, the seal was broken. It was, like, leaking, like...
So, yeah, like, no la parchamos bien. But, so that happened, and then that day we just went home like normal, and I mean, I didn't have anything else, like, it wasn't a loss, so I was like, oh, you know, maybe it wasn't anything. So it stayed like that, and then on Tuesday, he went back to work because he didn't work that Monday.
And I told her, I was like, hey, you know, if anything happens, just give me a call back, and... Man,
yeah, so...
chinga.
Which he didn't. But, so on Tuesday, I went to the doctor's because in the morning it happened again. Like, I felt the little thingy come out again.
And it was not the baby once again.
And so when I went to the doctor, they checked me with, like, the little thing to make sure it was, like, to see if it was the liquid from the water. And it turned out that it was, and the doctor said that I was 1 centimeter dilated. So, but they didn't keep me in, though. They were like, oh, you can go home, eat, shower, get whatever you need. And then you can come back, like, around 4. So then I called him, and, like, I told him, like,
she
hey,
called me around, I want to say,
home.
11, almost 12. Almost at 12. She called me, and she was like, hey, you know, just...
I just told him to come, like, or to come slowly, you know, so he can get his time while I showered and everything.
But I didn't listen. I was excited. I was like, the baby's going to be here. I better be there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to miss it. I was like...
He was all like, I'm gonna Zoom. He was like, I'm not gonna miss my baby being born. But I was like, dude, like, come on, like, you're not.
And I didn't get a ticket.
And
so.
I actually showered at my mom's house that day.
Yeah, because
I showered over there, and he just took my clothes, and then we left like around what, like a little bit before 3, like almost at 4, like probably like 3:50.
We probably got at the hospital like around 4.
Yeah, we got to the hospital at 4, but someone else was using the room or something happened. We got to the room like around 4:30, like to our actual room, like at 4:30. So then she told me like, oh, you know, like just dress, this and that.
They basically gave us like a little talk on how everything was gonna go down at first.
Yeah, they did. And then she just told me if I didn't get any more contractions, they were gonna have to induce me because it had been already more than 24 hours since my water started leaking, and since that had happened, the baby could be left without water, and that would have been bad. So they did tell us all of that stuff. They offered, they asked if I wanted to get epidural, which I said no, because... So,
la suegra le dijo, si agarras, pobre de ti que agarres la bendición. Te voy a dar una chinga now.
Because my mom was like, since everything happened, she was like, okay, you're gonna feel like you're gonna die, but you're not gonna die. And then she was like, y pobre de ti que te pongas la inyección. So I was like,
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Shit, okay. So I was like, if I get the epidural, my mom's gonna be my ass. So I was more scared of my mom than the fucking contractions. Plus, I kind of didn't want to get the epidural because I just wanted to see, like, you know, I wanted to, like, be that, like, brave and shit. So I didn't get the epidural. And then...
You started doing some exercises on the pelotita, like the big ass pelota, and I was laughing. It's kind of funny that going like this and shit. I don't know what the fuck.
And then by that time I was like 2 centimeters because I remember she checked me again. No, I think so. And then so she was like, oh, you can just walk around. So we did walk around, and then like around 6 p.m. I started getting like contractions.
More
like,
contractions.
They were just mild and everything, but they were there. But still, it wasn't anything like bad or whatever. And then like around 8 or 10, I think, she put like the little thingy for induction.
Para provocarle los
again, because I wasn't getting the contractions, and it had been already more than 24 hours, like I said. So they were like a little bit worried about that. And then, so they had like this little machine.
No, but before that, my brother took us.
No.
It was before.
That was after.
Oh, that was after, yeah.
That was after. So before that, they had the little machine where...
So, the machine would actually measure the contractions, right? And I would see her. She was like... She was like fucking sleeping, and then she was like... That's how you be. You were like on the bed, and you were like... And I was like, what the fuck? And I would look at the little maquinita, and that shit wasn't even doing anything. And I was like, what the fuck? Is this shit broken or anything? But it had like this little...
Do it again.
Era como una...
Do it again.
Como una pelotita.
Do it again.
Do it again.
How did I do it?
Fuck this and shit. But anyways, era como una... Que se conecta al estómago, al vientre.
I don't know what it's called, but they had like those little things.
And it was supposed to match, and it wasn't measuring anything, and I was like, what the fuck? So, you know,
like, it wouldn't like attach, I don't know, so...
It would just slip off. So I was
would
like...
just fall, yeah.
So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna hold it. I was holding it with a little pressure. And then as soon as I did that shit was like going like this.
And then the nurse walks in and she looks at the thing and she was surprised. She was all like, wow. And then Omar was like, oh yeah, that thing isn't working. So I was holding it for you guys. And he was like over here like just holding it on my stomach. And then he was like, it wasn't working, so I'm holding it for her. And then the nurse was like, oh no, like don't do that because like you're giving us false alarms. Like this isn't really what's happening, and we really want to make sure how the contractions.
That shit wasn't even working.
He was the one like making the contractions go like boom. So to the nurse, it's like I was having like big ass contractions, and then she was like, how are you feeling? Are you getting any contractions? And I was like, no. And then she looks at the thing, and the contractions are like woo woo. So then when shut up. So then when we tell her like, oh, it's him holding it, she was like, oh, like no wonder. And then she was like, okay, she was like, don't hold it because yeah, like you're just giving us false alarms. And then
so then they took that one out and they put another one in, but the other,
and then that one was like a little bit working, and then after that I was actually working better. So the contractions were pretty much the same, still mild and everything. And then like around 11 or so, was it 11? Like around 11.
My brother took us some Starbucks.
Yeah, he went with his girlfriend, and they took us to Starbucks, and I was actually craving brownie, like chocolate, so he took me a brownie, and
Tu pinche brownie kid.
I ate it really, really good. Like I was enjoying my damn brownie, and then it just stayed like that. And then I think afterwards
they left around 12 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left, and then
No, probably like before 12.
A little bit before 12.
They only lasted there like 30 minutes or so, or less.
Yeah. About half an hour.
And then I think after that they asked me about like if the thing was working because it just wasn't working, and I don't.
She wasn't getting strong enough.
And they were like still like, you know, like we need to check because like your thing started leaking like more than 24 hours ago. So after that, I think she checked me, and I was like at 6 centimeters, then or 6 or 4, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it stayed like that. So she was like, okay, you're opening. Then they got me the ball, the bouncing ball.
Again,
and then I started just walking around in circles. Like I ended up all dizzy, shit, like borracha. And then they had this little machine there that like told you like the contractions. And then by then the contractions were actually like way higher, like way stronger. And like the thing usually tells you like your pulse and like the contractions. So it goes like from 0 to 70 to 80 to like 200, like really, really fast. And then like as soon as they were coming, he was just there standing next to me, and he was just looking at the thing, and he would grab my hand and he'll be like, oh my gosh, there's one coming, baby, there's one coming. Hold on. He would be like, this is a big one, this is a really, really big one. And I'll be like, I don't feel anything. And then like as soon as that happened, like boom, I would feel it.
I was giving her a warning, like, hey, be
But
ready.
it was so funny, like the thing would just go like 0, 48, 78, 100, 100, this, like, baby, this is big, this is big. Like he wasn't even feeling the thing.
I was actually
just because of
feeling,
what
I
the
was
thing saying.
actually more nervous about the.
Yeah, like I was just like hella chill, and like all of a sudden, like se me iba bajando, like the past contraction was barely going down, and then he would be like, here's another one. And then they just started being closer and closer, and then when
Like
they laid me
stronger,
down,
stronger.
yeah, when I was laying down, I felt something else come out,
And
I thought it was like the water breaking down, like completely. And then I told them, I was like, hey, like I felt something coming down. So then he checks, and he was like, oh my gosh, there's hella blood, but there's like
There was a lot
hella blood.
A lot of fucking blood.
And then I was like, really? I was like, okay. And then like I tried moving, and then he was like, don't move, there's hella blood, let me call the nurse. So he called the nurse, and the nurse comes in, and then she's like, okay, go to the bathroom, you know. So I get up, and there's like this much blood.
It was a lot of blood, like, estaba llena toda la cama de blood.
No, it wasn't, because the nurse was like, oh, that's normal. And I just looked at him like, really?
That
like,
was a
you're
lot
hella
of-
extra?
That was a lot of blood. It was a lot of blood.
And then so that happened like around 3, I want to say, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, 3 in the morning.
And then this is when everything started getting like more stronger and everything, like around 4 to 6.
And we would actually ask the nurse, like, hey, check her, and they'd be like, no, we can't do that. Cause
yeah, they're like, she can get an infection, like of too much checking, like to see how open she is. So I want to say like around 4 to 6. That's when like everything started. Like I couldn't really breathe. It was really hard. I threw up because of like how hard the pain was.
The brownie was gone.
I threw up the whole brownie. I was so sad. And then I think
A las 8.
no, before that, they offered me if I wanted laughing gas, like around
No, that
6
was.
or so, and I said no.
Yeah, you were.
And
like,
then they were like, okay. So they checked me again, and I think that's when I was like around
9.
yeah, something like that. So by
She was
this
9.
time it
So
was
around
like
8:30. She was already.
8:20-ish, yeah.
Yeah, she was already at 9 centimeters.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, que esta partera. ¿Cómo se dice partera en inglés?
The midwife.
The midwife.
So then like they were like, as soon as that happened, they're like, okay, we're gonna go get the doctor, this and that. So the doctor rushed in, but they were taking their sweet ass time.
They were like, la cama esa madre, like.
So they just
Se
like,
desarma
they
con
open
mucho
one
foam.
thing and they put on their gloves and they put on the other glove, but like super slow, and like you're there in pain, so you're like, dude, hurry up, like, dude, like stop, do what you're doing and hurry up, do it fast.
Yeah.
So then like literally as soon as the midwife sat down, she was like ready, and then like in 2 pushes, oh, I actually got laughing gas because I couldn't breathe, but like almost by the time I was pushing is when they put in the thing. They were like rushing because I couldn't breathe.
And then she was like falling asleep on me. I was like, hey, no te duermas, no te duermas. I was hella scared.
I was like trying to like rest because you get really tired of all the pain and everything. So I was just trying to like close my eyes a little bit, and then he was all like, no te duermas, levántate.
I was freaking scared. I was
so
like,
pissed,
hey,
like,
si se duerme valió madre, you know,
I
like,
was
you never
hella
know what can
mad.
happen.
I was like, oh my god, like I'm just trying to rest. And I would like scream at him. I'd be like, I'm not sleeping, let me rest. And then like he would tell the nurses, she's falling asleep, and then like the nurse would be like, no, don't fall asleep. And I'm like, I'm not falling asleep. He just
She was falling asleep.
I was not falling asleep.
You were like,
no, I wasn't. And then so that happened, and like in 2 pushes, the baby came out. Like she literally sat down. And
the
then
first
I
push,
pushed.
le miré la cabecita. It was toda peludita. I was like, tiene pelo. I started crying.
Yeah, so like the first push, she was just like almost out, and then by the second push, she was completely out. So the doctor was like, I met you and your baby at the same time.
And then I was crying, then she was crying, and then the
it
baby
got really
was crying.
emotional, and then it was so cute, and then yeah. Now she's about to be 8 months.
In a couple of days, she's gonna be 8 months. On
Yeah.
the 28 exactly.
So yeah, she's actually learning how to crawl too. And
Yes,
like the experience is really, really beautiful, you could say. And I mean, like to me, to how everybody would always tell me like, oh, your hella hurts, like it's like hell. Some people told me that it was like hell. Others were like, no, you feel like you're dying. I'm not ever having kids, this and that. Like to me, saying that I was induced and saying that people say that it hurts more when you're induced.
I mean,
It
la
didn't
misma,
hurt
like
a
the
lot.
same people, they scare you, you know.
They were like, oh, like, so
everybody
I was
has, like-
expecting the worst. Like, honestly, I was expecting the worst. And I also got stitches because she did tear me. So after all, like, considering, like, the whole experience, it wasn't that bad to me, personally. I didn't get any epidural, so I actually felt everything.
Porque la suegra le dijo que
Yeah,
se
my
iba a
mom
chingar.
scared me.
Si no, sí.
No, I wouldn't have had it anyway.
But anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this video.
Yeah.
So make sure
yeah.
you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you guys go check out the other videos. Chequen el otro que hicimos hace como una semana, el de los huevos. Se puso chingón y
Le pegaron en los
me
huevos.
pegaron los huevos con los huevos. So
That was the point of the video, though. So.
make sure you guys go check it out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe and thank you
And
for
comment
listening.
for more.